Okay, we're going to be looking at the GHD Oracle today. I have never seen a pair of these before. They are clearly for curling the hair, and as far as I can tell at this stage we probably have a heating element down here. We have one down here. The heat will radiate into this curved section both sides, and then on the other side we have some plates that are on some sort of spring-loaded mechanism, and when these are hot the hair goes in and you literally just shut them like that. As I say, I've never seen a pair of these. I've no idea how they come apart. We're going to have to try and work that out as we make this video. Again, we have GHD Gold style push button. I don't know whether the internals are similar, if any parts are interchangeable. Again, we have this GHD Gold ring that's used on a number, or similar arrangement is used on a number of GHD products, and we have this GHD cable that was fitted from the Platinum models onwards. So this is fitted to Platinums, GHD Golds, GHD Max, obviously this, and some other GHD devices. So yeah, I don't even know whether this works. It's just something I bought off of eBay because we hadn't got any photos or a teardown of this model, and if somebody wants to change the cable we can certainly supply it, but how they change it, well, we don't know, but hopefully we're going to find out now. But let's just see what happens when these are plugged in. A white flashing light, no noise. Expected a bleep. Yeah, you heard the tone. So similar to GHD Gold in operation. Press and hold for on, press and hold for off, and I am right, just those two side plates are heating up, and obviously the heat will radiate into, actually I mean it will radiate, I don't know how hot these side bits get, but yeah, that's the, oh actually, much to my surprise, these two are getting hot as well. I was not expecting to find that. I really did expect just those two plates there. So this is a totally unfamiliar design. Did not expect those to heat up. Oh, interesting. So I suspect we might have full-size elements here and possibly just narrow elements fitted in there. So this will be very interesting if we can get them apart. Right, let's get those unplugged. So I know first thing we're going to have to do is get this ring off. Yeah, simple enough. Now there are no screws there. I've seen other GHDs with screws in that position. If we've got covers that will come off like we have on the GHD Golds. This is very, very flexible. It'd be very easy to break this, I would suggest. Just looking for any signs of a way in. We do have a silicone rubber piece there. I don't know whether there's anything underneath that. I don't particularly want to damage these, but if we have to do a bit of damage to get them apart. Okay, so that's come out very easily actually. Unfortunately it has not helped in any way. There's nothing to discuss under there, except it probably has proved that this is just a cover that will come off. Now if it's like the GHD Max, it's got to be lifted off at the back. It will lift up and then you've got to pull it back because there will be little tags here that go into the main arm, and if you try lifting it up from this end you're going to snap those off, and that will be really hard to put back together again at this end. So I'm going to start at this end with a 0.1 tool and we'll just see if any of this looks like it might come free. In fact, what's looking like coming off is the inner. Well, that is strange. So I think, yeah, that is part of this. That is the inner piece of plastic here that's coming apart. And as you can see, that main arm cover is coming apart here as well. So I'm just wondering if we can get into here. See plastic clips all the way up there actually. As I say, I'm not looking to damage this, but it may well be that we've got no choice. We may need something a little bit stiffer just to pry these apart. There we go. There we go. So I'm just going to, yeah, a couple of clips have broken there. Let's have a look at the damage. I think we've broken one there, one there. Actually, I'm saying that, have I? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, yeah, actually I can see a little hook on there, and that does not, actually it does hook over there a little bit. So that's the inside. I suspect we could probably glue these back in place if you do break the clips off. There is a little heat resistant pad there, but not much else to talk about. Very interesting arrangement here. You can see we've got a big alloy housing here, and then these copper coloured tubes that run all the way up and along, and it's all been held in place by, it looks like a thermal paste or silicon material. We've got a silicon piece at the end here that's just literally fallen off. I think I might just take some images as we go with this. Okay, so there's another silicon piece here. I can see a screw with 3 screws along the top there. So it looks like this other arm. How would you get the hinge apart? It's very interesting. Now, can we get that off? This will be the next bit to come off. The outer cover. Again, I suspect we might need something a little bit more forceful than that. There is a gap there. Let's see if I can get my fingers down there. I don't think we're doing this any favours, but it also feels like there's a bit of glue holding this together, which I'm surprised about, but yeah, there we go. So not too much damage there, and there is some double-sided tape in 3 places along each side, so you're going to have to be aware of that. I don't think we did any damage there. Ah, that's an interesting, I don't know whether you can see on the inside there, can you see the text? going to have to look that up, see who that is. It says, dedicated to Roger Williamson. Thank you for bringing your inspirational thinking to our GHD world. Well, that's very interesting. I wonder who he was. One of their designers, engineers. Okay, so now we are in a position to undo these screws and see what's going on, but I still don't see how you get these arms off and the hinge. Actually, you don't get that apart by the looks of it. And how the hell does the cable come out of there? Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. Looks like an absolute nightmare. Anyway, we've got that off. I think we'll go back to this side first, because that is what's stopping this cover coming off. You know what, I'm going to undo these screws. Just see what comes free. We've got, I think they're three the same. No, we've actually got two of your normal going into plastic type screws. Hopefully you can see there. And then we have a going into metal screw there. So let's see what comes off now, if anything. No, that seems to have achieved absolutely nothing. We also have two screws at the end there. Obviously they've got to come out, didn't even see them. They are, I think, the same as these other two. Oh no, they're a tiny bit shorter actually. Let's get these out. So if you wanted to change the cable, you're still not able to at this point. So I've just no idea how that all comes apart. So let's have a look. Can we do anything now? Oh, hang on. I think that end comes off. Yeah, so that end piece comes off. And that exposes the end. We've got some sort of heat pad and heated element. God, these are complicated. That doesn't want to come off at the moment, really. Oh, that piece is split, so that comes out in one piece. Further exposing these big pieces of, I assume it's a solid steel, just giving the whole arms a lot of strength on this side. I don't think it is silicone because it's still soft. It's like a thermal paste. I don't know if you can see that or not. So it almost looks like that is going to push out. Yeah, it is. How weird. So I don't know whether that's part of the design. You can actually pull these apart. Okay, well look, let's move on back to the other side, and we'll take these screws out. We've got one at the end here. Doesn't want to come out. There we go. So two the same length, and then we're going to have another one, and then I suspect another one the same. So what's going to happen now? Well, first of all, we've got all this tape It's holding. Ah, here we go. Here we go. There we go. That's done it. So let's just lift that off. Okay. Got a sticky possible heat pad there. We've got a circuit board. Let me just show you that. So, like the GHD Gold, we have some push-fit connections, and we also have some soldered connections. The soldered on ones look like they're absolutely definitely Thermistor wires. All this board is covered in a sticky, I was going to say lacquer, but it's actually flexible, so it's some sort of clear spray that they've put on just to seal everything. They haven't sealed the actual contacts, just the components. Now, still not seeing how to get these apart much further. Now this cover is coming off a little bit, but I'm assuming it's clipped in place. Come apart quite a bit. It looks like it's oh, there we go. Yeah, it's going through some flexi print. It still won't come apart. If you've got to prise these out and around. Don't think, oh no, that's bent that, so that's obviously copper. Oh, in this case it doesn't matter too much, but it's still not going to come out, is it? Very weird. Oh, did I just break that? Or was it a separate piece? No, I actually snapped that off. So that's not good. Very dodgy there. Yeah, it's actually part of that, and that has just snapped out of there. Wow, what a nightmare. Still not really seeing how this comes apart properly. What am I missing here? Very small wires there. Still no sign of the cable coming out. We've got a bit of plastic in here. I don't know what that is doing exactly. Doesn't want to come out. Yeah, flexi print, very much like the Eclipse and Platinums. Oh, look at the two screws here. I wonder what that's going to allow to happen. God, they've got bits of silicon seal everywhere. Well, this is certainly the nastiest pair of GHD I've ever stripped down. So I've undone those screws, and that's achieved what? It looks like these want to lift out now. This pipe work is stopping that from happening. So if that's now, yeah, look, we've got a screw here as well for this hinged casing, or the hinge casing. Right, so actually that's come off completely. We've now, oh, it's a fan. We have the, whether you can see it, there is a tiny, where are we? Tiny little fan in there. I don't know whether you can see it or not. And that's where those small wires are going. Now this looks like it's going to pull off of there. Jesus Christ, this is a hideous thing. Again, covered in thermal paste. Very soft. It's obviously a heat conductor, but why? What is that doing? Is that taking heat away from these plates? Yeah, no idea. So I'm just going to put those onto a piece of foam so we don't get grey stuff everywhere. I'm going to pull out the other one. Very soft copper. Right, so at that point we have got access to these. Again, these are screwed together at the side. We've got yet another tiny little thin piece of silicon. Oh, there's absolutely no way that you would attempt to repair these. I don't even think you'd be able to get them back together again. There's no way. So that's one element. Sorry, one ceramic plate. Big, thick heat pad, very thick. And the wires are going through that plate. It's a plastic plate, and it looks like it's in one piece. So how the hell the wires come out of that? They don't, obviously. You have to pull them out and unsolder the thermistor connections. Ugh. Just no way these were ever designed to be repaired. I don't know how much these are, but I don't suppose they're cheap. Another pad that is stuck on there. I'll get that out. Little cutout, notice. So now we've got two plates. We've got the other plates with the heating elements. I am going to just pull these wires out and we'll check the resistance of all these parts. Thank God I managed to get this cheap on eBay. It was only about 40 quid. Somebody was virtually giving them away. So I grabbed those pretty quick just for this video. That lifts off, I suspect, the switch cover. There we go. Yeah, very much like the gold. In fact, it may well be exactly the same as the gold GHD switch. Just go and solder these thermistors and we'll get some readings. Have a look at the elements perhaps. Right, so we'll just leave that. That's the plastic piece of the wires we're feeding through. And now we've got a closer look at the elements. Interesting metal clip. It doesn't look like it's going to be very easy to take off at all. I believe the other side is exactly the same. I've got that grey stuff all over my fingers. Let's just leave this side strip now. Again, we've got this hideous flexi print that caused so many problems in the platinums. You can probably see that sticky, shiny coating that's on everything. So let's go to this end. Yeah, definitely an alloy. Don't know whether it's just aluminium or what it is. Now, let's say we want to change this cable. I'm still not clear on how that is going to come out. Date code of 2018 on this, and these are 4 years old really, is it? That model is that age. Just not seeing how that comes out. There's very little movement there. There's nothing in here, is there? Nope. I was just looking for any other marks. Oh, you know, the screws and things. So literally what we've got in there is this tiny little fan. I don't know whether you can see it better now. Yeah, maybe. Again, that does not want to come out. Trying to lever the fan out, but it's not having that. Damn, this shouldn't be this hard, should it? Glasses off, closer look. Okay, so if you look very closely, there's a little notch here, and if we look very closely, that plastic has just gone over the top of the metal. So it looks to me like you've got to squeeze. I mean, it's no obvious way to squeeze this in because it's solid plastic, but I've got a feeling that that's exactly what we're going to have to do. Somehow squeeze that in and push it through. But it does look like it has been designed not to do that. You know, it's going to be fitted and never taken apart. Yeah, that's what it is. That's got a... Then how is that going to push through with the cable on the end? Wow. Can't see the cable going into there. No. What else have we got? It's obviously in two halves. But and there's a number of these. There's metal fins all around here, and it does look like this moulding is actually going. It's been pushed in, and then it goes over them. But how the hell would you get the cable in or out if that's the case? Push that back in, it's not really going to help a lot. So it must be clipped in from the inside, but I can't get this fan out of the way. Pull that back. There's nothing under there. Okay. I think we've probably broken that, but the fact we have, it is pushed in to a ring of alloy, and you can see where I've just broken that to force this fan out. Yeah, and the fan, I think, was clipped in. Yeah, you can see two little clips either side, so I don't know how you would have got that out without damage. Again, like I say, this was not... Well, actually now that means this is sneaky buggers. There's a plastic clip either side, top and bottom, and that needs releasing, and then this will come out. I'll try and show you. We're going to need to put a little bit of pressure on the cable and see if we can just release that. Absolutely not designed to be taken apart. There we go. Now that's actually no. Oh, there we go. See the two plastic clips there and there, and they push in and click into place. And now you can take the two halves off, and you've got the standard cable, which hopefully isn't damaged, so we can reuse that. That is when the ring will come off, and we can now change the cable. God, what a nightmare! Hi Mia, good girl. So there's even a little O-ring securing that fan. Not securing it, but sealing it. So, well, yeah. I'll take out the wires for the socket so we can have a closer look at that. Yeah, totally broken that ring. But this is what we're supposed to be doing, so you don't have to. Now that is on a tiny little... So if I feed that through there, just reassembling this to see how easy that fan might have been if we knew what we were doing. I don't think it would have been much easier because I was prizing it out very near the plastic clips anyway. So we're just popping it back in there. So, yeah, you can see, well, possibly you won't be able to see, but you can see the two white plastic clips either side of the centre piece, hopefully, and that's what's holding that in. But you can't get to those very easily, they've got to be prized out, and there's no way of doing that from through the fan, or you can access them through the fan, but you can't pull them out. So whether you're supposed just to force it out like that, I don't know. Can you get through there? You can possibly get through there with a hook and just to unfasten them, but I mean, you've got no chance of doing that originally because you'd have no clue that this is how they're done. yeah, you possibly could do that. Let's see. Like I say, with the cable there and the socket, I don't think you'd be able to. Yeah, a very nasty design indeed. See, it doesn't want to pull out because of those clips. I've got to actually get in here, release them and then pull it out. And of course you can't do that. It's ridiculous. Actually, there might be clips in there as well. Yeah. Yeah, not only are there those two outer clips, there's the inner ones as well. So, yeah, really not very nice at all. So, definitely I would not advise even attempting to, look at these. It's not happening. We'll just have a look at this other side, see what's holding that together. This is the side with the sort of spring-loaded plates. So again, we've got two elements, two thermistors. Okay, sort of wants to pop out there. Doesn't want to pop out of here. Is there a screw under there? No. Just plastic clips, look. There's one there, and then it comes out. I see a screw now under here. Not that that's allowed me to do anything. Just levering it out from the other side has done the job there. Very complex. Yeah, spring loaded. The springs are in here, look. There's one there, one there. There's 4 springs, either side at either end. So hopefully we can just take these apart now. So there's your 4. There's your 4 springs. I mean, absolutely tiny. The same story as before. These wires have been fed through a silicon piece, so we're going to have to get these wires out from the push fit connections. And then unsolder the thermistor wires. There we go. And now we can pull out the silicon rubber. And now you can see the quite complicated element plate arrangement. Same the other side, just a nightmare to work on. Certainly the most complicated GHD that I've ever seen. A close up of the board. Flexi print, which we know has problems from the previous designs, and yeah. Goldilocks, bare PCB. Goldilocks. How do people think up this stuff? I don't know whether you saw that as I was panning across. Goldilocks. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. So that's that. And I'm now really a final look now at... Actually, I'm going to just measure these elements so we know what we're talking about here. So the elements here are 71 ohms. The elements on the bigger plates are also 71, so it looks like we've got 71 ohm elements all throughout. They're obviously narrow ones. God, this grey stuff is everywhere and won't come off. I would love just to get one of these apart so we can have a closer look at the element, but these metal clips are clipped over the full length, right from there all the way along there. So it would be very hard to unclip these without risk of damaging the plate. I don't think they'll slide off, will they? No, because there's plastic that stops them from sliding off. And maybe we can slide the whole assembly out. There we go. Yeah, that's very much like I do with the GHD Golds. You can actually slide the whole assembly off. So we've got ceramic plate, thermal paste on there. We have the little metal spring mounting plate. We've got a couple of pieces of what looks like silicone rubber there, and then we have the element and a backing plate. Let's see if we can just lift that off. Don't think it's part of it, I think it's just stuck to it. Let's get the, there we go, just gently leave it back off. Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. We have an inline thermal fuse. Let's just see if I can show you that. Let's just take it apart. Let's get those wires through. So a hard plastic, and then we have these elements. They are non-standard in every way. I think they are longer, slightly longer than normal width, narrow elements. They are wider than normal narrow elements. The wiring is obviously facing the wrong way to normal. 69.3 ohms is the measured in the factory amount. We've got a thermistor here which I've just pulled the cap off, but yeah, that is absolutely tiny little thermistor with the little cap on that just pulled off as I was working on those. You get the idea. And then we've got this fuse, tiny fuse, and it is covered in a silicone cover, very, very small indeed. And the value is, let's see it, so it's an SE fuse and the value is 225 degrees, 2 amp 225 degree fuse. Don't even know whether you could buy those or not. So yeah, all in all, a pretty much near impossible pair to work on. I would certainly not take these on in any way, shape or form. Not even to change the cable, I'm afraid. Now that one came apart relatively easy, but this one looks like a whole different ball game. We'll have a closer look. Glasses off for this one. We'll have a peek. Again, it is clipped in here, here, and then the full length that side. So the only way into here will be with a very fine blade, I think, in this case. Let's see if we can lift up any of that. can, but it probably won't ever go back together again because it's now bent. Do the other side as well. Yeah, you'd have to really sort all this out if you were trying to reassemble them, because all of this would be slightly bent. So that is out. You can see it just lifts off again. We've got those little silicone pads that are holding all this secure. This time we've got some plastic pieces just holding that all together. Doesn't look like it wants to come apart yet. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you can see that is how that comes out. Gosh, that really is a complex arrangement. So many things to break. So again, we'll just have a quick look. Yeah, once again, just lifts off. It's not going to come out very easily because you've got all these wires going through various bits of rubber, bits of plastic. There's another bit there. Oh, that's the thermistor cover. The wires are all bundled together in a little heat shrink. Sorry, what looks like a Captain tape. Actually, no, it's not, is it? It's a join. That was Captain tape wrapped around it, but we have a crimped join here to the thermal fuse, which now will all come out again. 225. Yeah, crimped pieces. Jeez. Yeah, that is hideous. So, trade guys out there, I think you can safely say that this is absolutely not repairable, and I would not even attempt to change a damaged cable on these. Look at the number of parts we've got laid out here. There's so many little bits of silicone, and there's no way, absolutely no way that is ever going back together again. Anyway, I was slightly hopeful that we'd at least be able to change the mains cable, but yeah, sadly not. Hope that was interesting anyway.